The Bard and the Bible, July 3rd. Sound advice. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Hamlet, Act 1. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Which most often gets you into trouble, your mouth or your ears? Thought so. Polonius's advice to Laertius to give every man thy ear, but few thy voice is comical, because by that point in the soliloquy his son would be impatient for the old man to wrap things up, as the audience, if they weren't laughing so much, would be too. But just because Polonius is impervious to his own wisdom doesn't mean we should be. After all, the first century writer James, who said a lot about the dangers of the human tongue, wrote much the same thing to his fellow Christians. My beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak. 2,000 years have passed since James gave that instruction, and more than 400 since Shakespeare penned their equivalent. And most of us are still no wiser in our behavior than Polonius. We are swift to speak, slow to hear. We talk more than we listen, just employing our most destructive organ instead of our most instructive ones. It is a cliche to say God gave us 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak. Therefore, we ought to listen twice as much as we talk. But it has become a cliche because we keep saying it instead of doing it. How can you listen twice as much as you speak today? By tale or history? Shakespeare wrote many of his juiciest roles, Richard III, Romeo, Hamlet, Othello, and Lear, to be played first by Richard Burbage, the leading man of the King's Men. Burbage was in his 30s when Hamlet debuted, and though Hamlet is a university student in the play, Burbage's portrayal was a hit.